We're gonna wait a little bit, wait for everybody to chime in, wait for some more people to chime in. All right, let's go ahead and get on into it. All right, today we're gonna talk about damps and ramps. I mean, we got to get into it because we're in the business to make money, not lose money. All right. So before we get it started, before you go in depth with it, let's just get one thing clear: your ones and your twos are not there for you. Yeah, let's just get that cleared away. Okay. For you all who don't know what the ones and twos are, check out the last video. What are your employees worth? Do you know your employees worth? And that'll describe all about the ones, twos, and threes. All right. So let's just get it clear. Your ones and twos are not there for you. That's just what it is. They're there for a check, and they want to go home, and that's it. Okay. Your threes, yeah. They have a little bit of vested interest in it. Okay. So let's get into your damps. All right. Your damps are decreasing and minimizing profits. Okay. One thing we don't want to do in business is decrease and minimize profits. Okay. When you're talking about your ramps, we're raising and maximizing our profits. Okay. So that's where we want to stay at. We want to stay at the ramps. Okay. One thing about it is they're going to come, they're going to use your equipment, they're going to get the jobs done, but let's just be clear about it. Nobody takes care of your tools, your equipment, things of that nature like you will, So a couple things that you can get, that you can go by is before you hire an employee, you can set up a training session, maybe a week or two before they get started, but sometimes that's just hard. That's just hard because you're getting the heat of battle. You need somebody out there with you right now, and you're teaching as you go. You know what I mean? Or your foreman is teaching as you go. Okay. Now your foreman, he can't watch over everything all the time. Yes, he oversees, but he can't use all the equipment. Okay. Yes, he maintains. He makes sure, you got certain things on the truck. He makes sure that, certain things are good, but he can't operate all the equipment. Okay. So he can't, what I want to say, he can't be responsible for if one of your employees takes the riding lawnmower and runs over a pipe, locks the engine up. That's not on him. That's on the employee. The employee should have went around it, and in most cases that'll be a one or your two. Okay. Now, if they lock that engine up in that mower, that should go towards, that should be going towards them paying for it. All right. And like I said in the previous live video, all these steps, this should be discussed before they get hired, so it won't be nothing new to them. Okay. Once they find out there's something new to them, they're going to instantly go. They're going to instantly leave, and you're going to be stuck with a locked engine. And let's just be clear, you may be stuck with a locked engine anyway. Okay. And like in some of my previous videos, I'll talk about, what to use the pruning shears for, what to use the chainsaws for, and stuff like that, things of that nature. Okay. When you get certain branches, you can't use a chainsaw because it'll lock your blades up. Okay. Sometimes, we can get towards the end of the day and, we're trying to finish up this job, and you don't want to go and get the chainsaw out. You just want to cut it, be gone, however it may be. Employee goes, try to cut the limb, locks the engine up on the or breaks the blade on the pruning shears. That's negligence. That's negligence. Negligence should be on the employee for the employee to fix. All right. If you're fixing it, anything that they do that is negligence and you're fixing it, you're in the damp realm. You're decreasing and minimizing your profits. You're totally in the damp rail. Let's just be clear about it. They don't care if you have, certain bills you got to pay. They don't care if you have certain things that you got going on. They don't care if you have peanut butter and jelly to eat that night. That's just what it is. They don't care that you're eating peanut butter and jelly. They don't care that you're trying to get a new work van. They don't care that you're eating oodles and noodles. They don't care that you gotta get your tooth fixed. They don't. That's just what it is. They're there for a check, and they want to come do their job, and that's that. You know what I mean? So I run into a lot of landscapers, and they're talking about they're always getting things fixed. Because certain employees, run their tools in the ground. They don't, take care of it. They constantly buying blades. What you want to have to buy blades anyway, but they're constantly buying blades. They're constantly buying certain tools and stuff like that. Okay. So one thing that you got to get clear is, and one thing that you have to do is, you have to get it etched in stone before they start. Anything that's negligent, anything that's per blatant, it's on you to fix. If we can't, come to a term with that, then maybe I got to go to the next round. You know what I mean? Because if you keep this employee on, I'm gonna give you a prime example. I had a employee a couple years ago, and we were working. We were working and this and that, how it may be. And I sat back and I looked at him, and he was weed whacking. So I told him, I said, look, don't have the weed whacker high. Just keep it at a medium speed, because you got these windows right here and this and that. And you don't want the, rock to kick up and hit the window. Turn it this way so the rocks will shoot this way, and it's going towards, the street and not the house and this and that. But, he wanted to do it his way, and he wanted to do it the way he wanted to do. So he wound up having to, rushing, trying to get, it was a payday. He was rushing, trying to get it done. And then he wound up kicking a rock up, busting the lady's glass door out, at her house. You know what I mean? So I looked at him and said, hey, what do you expect? Do you expect me to pay for this or you to pay for it? Because I sat there and I told you what to do, but you want to rush and you want to do certain things. So this has to come out your check. So once I'm gonna have to withhold this amount of money, in order to get this done. You know what I mean? So if you're talking about getting every little thing fixed, yes, you want to say insurance and this and that or how it may be, but you want to kind of give your employees a sense of responsibility. You know what I mean? If you got to hold them accountable for certain things that they do. Okay, you gotta hold them accountable for certain things that they do. Just rushing and not having the weed whacker at a certain angle or at a certain pace or however it may be, and it hits the window. That's just on them. You know what I mean? And I understand certain things can be a mistake. I understand that things happen, but if I foresee and I see it and I know it was negligent, you got to pay for that. you got to pay for that. Okay, because if I keep as a business owner or somebody who's trying to start to get in business, you know what I mean, or if you're thinking about getting into business, you have to think about how can I keep these liabilities down. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to get money to get this new mower. I'm trying to get money to get this new steak body. I'm trying to get this money to get this new work van. I'm trying to get this new pickup. You know what I mean? I need to get certain tools. You know what I mean? I need to upgrade my facility. I need to. So you have to minimize. So we're instantly thinking about ramps. You know what I mean? So we're instantly thinking about ramps. So we want to raise and maximize our profits. Type in the comment right now. Raise and maximize your profits. In the comments right now, I want to hear ramps. Come on, let's put ramps in there. Come on, man. We got to raise and maximize our profits. Okay, we ain't dealing with no damps. All right, because damps will put you in the hole and put you out of business. You know what I mean? So we have to hold them held accountable for what they do. Okay, we have to hold them accountable for what they do. If we don't hold them accountable for what they do, they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep doing it. Now, if they do it and they run off and this and that, or how it may be, they don't come back and this and that, or how it may be, all you got to do is tell them, hey, this is your check. Part of it went towards getting the repairs done. So if you want to leave, that's totally fine. But it was etched in stone. You signed the contract. This is what it is. Hey, there's nothing I can do about that. Okay? So you have to, keep it etched in stone. They have to be able to sign on a dotted line, have you a piece of paper there saying that, if it's negligent or this and that, so it'll be itemized down and they'll know what they're signing and what they're getting into. You understand? So if they know what they're getting into and they decide they want to get ghost on you, hey, that it is what it is. They knew what it was. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? That check got to come out. Now if it's a regular employee and I know they're good for it, hey, I won't hit you all at once. I'll do half one check, half another check. You know what I mean? Or I'll do it in a third if I know you're good for it. But if I don't know you're good for it, I got to get all that, that check. I got to get. I mean, I'm just totally being honest with it. I got to be honest with it. You know what I mean? So you can attest to it. You can attest to it. If you're a landscaper and you're in the landscaping realm, you can attest to, employees coming out and they're just your ones and your twos are coming out and they're just tearing, your stuff up. They don't know. They'll say they know what they're doing, but they don't know what they're doing. You're trying to teach them what they want to do, but they want to do it the way that they want to do, and this and that, or however it may be. So they have to be held accountable for what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? They have to be held accountable. They may be, driving your trailer or something like that. Now, things happen. I get it. If it's just wear and tear, like, you got to get tune-ups, you got to get new pull strings, you got to get, the carburetors clean. I mean, just like Wayne said, you got to get new wheels. You may have to get a muffler because the muffler fell off or something like that, because they're not tightening stuff up. Just maintenance or something like that. If it's just, regular maintenance stuff that you got to do, okay, yeah, the company take care of it, you know what I mean? So we can, keep it moving and get as much done as we can. Because one thing we want to have is efficient amount of equipment. We want efficient amount of equipment. You know what I mean? We want everything to run smooth. We want everything to run smoothly. You know what I mean? So if you go and certain things aren't running smoothly, they're going to either wind up leaving or you're going to wind up paying more in the long run. I mean, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So you have to type ramps in the comment. Come on. Do you want to raise and maximize profits, or you going to decrease them profits? You know what I mean? You got to raise and maximize profits. All right. So type ramps in the comment if you hear what I'm saying. Okay. So bottom line is you have to hold them accountable for what they're doing. Yes, they want to come and they want to get a check. Yes, they're not going to do the things, but everything, all that's understood and all that's already known. You know what I mean? But you can't run yourself in a hole. Okay, if they're driving a truck and this and that, and they're trying to back out, and somehow they may hit the mailbox and the tail light busts out or something like that. Okay, yeah, the company will go ahead and pay for it. You know what I mean? But like I had one guy, he was backing out, and the guy was telling him to hold fast. The other employee was telling him to hold fast, hold fast, hold fast. And he was driving that stake body, and he wound up hitting a big old tree limb and bent some of the stake body, the back of, my big truck or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay. I went ahead and ate that. I went ahead, took it to the shop. I went ahead and got it fixed. It could have been, either way it could have went, maybe he didn't hear him. You know what I mean? Maybe he didn't hear him. You know what I mean? So that could have went either way. So I just went ahead and just got that fixed. You know what I mean? But if it was just, blatant or something like that, yeah, then he would have had to go ahead and pay for that. You know what I mean? So when in business, and if you're trying to we always want to decrease. You know what I mean? No, we always want to raise and maximize our profits. Okay? This is, not going to be a long, drawn-out hour. It's just not. You know what I mean? Because it's just it's simple and plain. And we do not want to go out the back door, because make no mistake about it, when they leave, they're not thinking about nothing about the business. And you have to, let's get this clear, you have to do a check at the end of the day. You have to do a check at the end of the day. If you're someone that has a home-based business and they take your tools and they put them in the shed or something like that, if they take your tools, you know what I mean, and put them in, your polar sheds or something like that, or if you have an office space or plan to get an office space, you have to check your tools at the end of each day, or you may want to do a weekly check on Fridays or Mondays, or you can just do it on the weekends or something like that. You know what I mean? Normally I do my checks either Fridays or Mondays. You know what I mean? We'll do our check, to see what's working, what's not working, and this and that, or however it may be. At the end of the day, the foreman should come back and say, hey, this is what happened. This tool, went down, and this is the person that was using it, and this and that, or however it may be. But sometimes they will throw those tools in the shed and leave them broke to keep from having to pay for that stuff. You know what I mean? And then when you go to look and be like, okay, what happened? Who, did what, and this and that, da. No, everybody's going to get amnesia. Everybody's going to get amnesia. Nobody's going to know what happened. They're not going to know who did it and this and that, because, it's the, snitch code or whatever. So me being the owner and this and that, however it may be, I hold everybody accountable that was working with those tools. Nobody knows who did what. Nobody knows who did this. Nobody knows who did that. You're held accountable for these tools. All if it was a 3-man crew, all 3 of you held liable for what happened to this lawnmower. You know what I mean? If it was a 2-man crew, both of you all are held liable for this crew. So once I get the bill back of how much it costs, I will let you know, and this is how much y'all got to split up to pay for this mower getting fixed. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, when that happens, that other person will look at that person, and I'll know who did it. You'll know who did it. You know what I mean? So it's just to the point of, but until they actually say, you're not going to assume, and I'm not going to assume, you know what I mean, that, that person did it. But until they actually say, they're going to be held liable for, what goes on. You know what I mean, with your tools. Because if you're constantly paying and paying and paying You know what I mean? For all of this negligence, if you're constantly paying for, certain employees, and I'm not saying it's all employees. You got, I got some, employees that will come in literally and check tools and see what's what. And this, and I'll call them and be like, hey, it's raining today, so I want to do a check. You know what I mean? Or they'll come to me like, one of my threes be like, hey, they calling for rain all day tomorrow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and so I can, lay back and get some rest tomorrow. I'm gonna do a check today before we leave to go home. You know what I mean? Let's do a check to see, what we need from the lawnmower shop, what we need, you know what I mean? What tools need to be fixed, what we need to do, and this and that, or however it may be. You know what I mean? I'll be like, okay, well, if you can do that, then I'll, and then jot down what we got to, get and what needs to go to the shop. You put it in the back of my pickup, then I'll go ahead and drop them off tomorrow or however it may be. That way y'all can get y'all rest. And then once it stop raining, then I'll see y'all the next, the next time it stopped raining or whatever. You know what I mean? So they will do that. And then I will know what's what and this and that. Okay, if it's all maintenance and it's all wear and tear and it's all, just maintenance and wear and tear, okay, cool. The company is going to go ahead and pay for that. It's going to go ahead and pay for that. But, if the throttle is broke off of there, if, you know what I mean, if the, the pull string is just like ate up, if the wheel is half cut off or whatever. I mean, you say that's crazy, but I had that happen to me. I've literally had that happen. You know what I mean? I had it happen to the point of, you know what I mean? They were, cutting the grass and this and that, getting ready to put the stuff on the truck. The guy still had the blade on and literally raised up and cut the wheel on the other mower and this and that or whatever. Yeah, literally, when I saw that, he had to go. You know what I mean? Yeah, he paid for it and he had to go. You know what I mean? Because it was just to the point of, if you'll do that in front of my face, no telling what you're going to do when I ain't around. You know what I mean? So whether it's your tools, whether it's your vehicles, whether it's windows or doors or mailboxes or whatever, and let's say mailboxes, okay? Say, for instance, if you're backing out and this and that or whatever, and you're in a tight spot, you hit a customer's mailbox. Yeah, you're held liable. Either you can fix it right there on the spot and reset it or something like that, or if it's bent or something like that, yeah, they will have to reset it, or they will have to get a whole new mailbox and get it done. I have had that happen too. You know what I mean? In the landscaping profession, well, I know in various blue collar industries that everybody's going through the same thing. You know what I mean? And I know that everybody's saying that it's we have to bite the bullet. Type ramps in the comments. Come on, man. Just type ramps in the comments real quick, because we're looking to raise and maximize profits. Come on now. Come on. Just type it in the comments real quick, and we're going to keep it moving. I'm waiting. Raise and maximize profits. We ain't talking about damps. All right? We ain't decreasing and minimizing nothing. Come on now. What you waiting on? So say for instance, if you've been strategizing on how to get this new 48-inch Exmark turf tracer, let's say. Okay. You've been saving and saving and saving. You didn't want to finance, or if you didn't want to finance, or maybe you can't, finance. I don't know the situation, but let's just go with either or. Okay. if you just wanted to pay cash for it or have it be or put it on your credit card or whatever. And you've been saving all of this money. And you've been saving and saving and saving. And right, maybe like 2 weeks before you go to get this more, so y'all will be ready to rock and roll for the new jobs that you get. Somebody goes up, busts the window out. Window costs, let's say, $700-800. Okay, what you gonna do? Eat that and push getting your lawnmower? You're gonna push that back. You know what I mean? You're gonna pay for the window and push it back. You know what I mean? For push getting your lawnmower back because you got to eat this window. Nah, I think not, because you got more employees to come. You know what I mean? You're literally you're going to literally minimize your profits off the break with that one. You're literally going to minimize your profits, okay? Because they'll sit there and they'll say, "Hey, we need new this. Hey, we need new that. Hey, we need new this." Why am I going to get new stuff if you're not taking care of what you already got? I don't care if it's a old X-Mark. I don't care if it's a old Skag. I don't care if it's old. If it runs smoothly, it's giving you a great cut. Keep using it. Keep using it. We don't, yes, we like to, have new equipment to have our business looking, official. And some people say, yeah, we want to look official. We want to look, a certain way. You know what I mean? We don't want outdated things and this and that. But sometimes we have to keep using those outdated things until we can get new things. And we can't get new things if we keep messing with damps. If we keep paying for negligence, if we keep, keep the people around that really don't care about, your business, or they don't really care about your equipment, or they don't really care about, your vehicles or customers' properties or something like that. You know what I mean? So if you keep putting yourself in the damps realm and dealing with the ones and twos that are putting you in the damps realms, you're never going to get the new things. You know what I mean? You're never going to be able to move up. You know what I mean? To get, the office building that you want. You're never going to be able to get the new polar shed that you want to house your stuff in. You're never going to get that new, transit that you wanted, or the F-250 that you wanted, or the new Dodge Ram 2500 for your crew. You're not going to be able to get them things. You know what I mean? You may wanted to see what the new Echo 9010 was about. You know what I mean? You spending that $500, that $600, or whatever, you know what I mean, to get that blower, and you're not going to do it. You'll still be stuck with them PB 580s. But I still got PB 580s. I'll use those on the grass cuts, on the light grass cuts or whatever, when the grass is not, real high or however it may be. I will break out those PB 580s real quick, save on that gas, and put the 8010s and the 9010s in the shed. You know what I mean? And then once the grass start picking up and things get heavy and then the leaves and stuff, then I'll break out the 8010s and 9010s. Yeah, all day. Yep, all day. You know what I mean? So you're never going to be able to advance. You know what I mean? So why not hold them accountable? And I know it's scarce. You know what I mean? The employee thing is scarce. It's not, what it used to be. You know what I mean? But the age-old thing was, it was always hard to find good employees. Saying this and that or whatever. But and I understand that, the goal is to build your crews, and be in a ramp era and this and that or however it may be. But like I said in the previous video, you have to be upfront with them. They have to sign the contract before you hire them off the break. so they'll know what they're getting into. And if they don't sign it, then there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, that's nothing you can do, but that's somebody that's not responsible, and that's somebody that won't take your business into consideration. I mean, they just won't. So it could be a blessing. It could be a blessing to you. Okay, they could have came out there that day and really tore something up, or really, you know what I mean? Could have did life, changing things or whatever. You know what I mean? So when I get it to cut down on this negligence, to cut down on the dance, I literally try to train a week beforehand. It's like, say for instance, if it's the wintertime, right? If it's the wintertime, and let's say if there's no snow on the ground, and I'm, seeking out new employees to go into the spring season, to the, next up and coming lawn season, if I, once I screen them and this and that, and I pick out, hey, I think these two may be good and this and that, or have may be. I'll go ahead and I'll try to, schedule a day, I mean, a week where I can just take them to a field and let them operate, what I mean, the lawnmowers, let them operate the weed whackers, let them operate the pruning shears, what I mean, so they can get a feel for, what I mean, what the tools is and stuff. Not to say that they're gonna stay. Not to say that they're gonna stay. Not to say that, that they're going to what I want to say. Not to say that they're gonna be there for the entire season. You know what I mean? But you just want to make sure for the time that they're there that they know how to operate your tools to try to, keep you out of the damp ramp. You know what I mean? So you want to know how. So when they get out there on the first day, y'all ready to rock and roll. Yes, you're still going to have to teach them certain things. You're still going to have to, put them in a certain place. You're still going to have to, make sure they, their work is up to your standards. You're still going to have to, you know what I mean, do some fine tuning. But the biggest part will be out the way. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest part to be out the way. Like being able to be efficient. Okay. If they know how to run the mowers, they know which way to shoot that grass, they know how to put the flaps down and this and that. When they do it, that's the biggest thing. Not blowing grass in the beds, not running over rocks, and Lord Jesus, running over trash where you got millions of pieces of newspaper or, wrappings or whatever all over the place. You know what I mean? So it's just to the point of that battle will be, half of the battle is done when they know how to operate your lawnmowers and your string trimmers. That's just the half of the battle. And the other half, and the rest to come, and then the other half is just keeping them on. You know what I mean? Keeping them on, keeping them maintained, and things like that. Okay. So you will get the ones that won't care. They would just cut over trash, this and that. I on my lawnmowers, I keep bags on my lawnmower. So if they're, run across some trash, they can pick it up, put it in the bag, and then keep on cutting. Sometimes they don't even want to. They just cut over it and just keep it moving. So, and then you're looking at it like, okay, why are you running over this stuff? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You know what I mean? So it's not type ramps in the comments. Come on now, type ramps in the comments. I want to see ramps in the comments. We're raising and maximizing profits. We're raising. We ain't talking about no dance. We ain't talking about the dance. We're talking about the ramps. You know what I mean? So anything that is negligent, anything that it's on the employee, and I'm gonna reiterate this, I understand, but if they don't sign and they don't know up front and they don't want to sign, you know what I mean? It's a blessing to your business. Let me say that. It's a blessing, type blessing. Because it's a blessing in the business that they didn't want to sign because you're saving you future headaches in your business. It's saving you future headaches. You You know what I mean? We don't need those headaches. We don't need those headaches. Oh, you don't want to sign? Okay, you don't want the responsibility. You just gonna treat my stuff any old kind of way. All right, you can go ahead and kick rocks. Let me try to find somebody else. Because make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. If you was by yourself, that person that you're gonna have to train, you're still gonna be by yourself. Because you're gonna have to train that person. For the first week, you're still gonna be getting the same amount of work done. You're still gonna be, you know what I mean? Because you still gotta train, you still gotta do this, you still gotta do that. You know what I mean? So don't sweat that. Don't panic. Be patient. The right ones that's benefit for you and your company will come. They will come. But just don't rush to get the first thing smoking, because negligence will follow that. Negligence will follow. And where there's negligence, there's what? Dams. Decrease and minimizing your profits. There's dams. You know what I mean? So be patient. Be patient in your hiring process. Make sure that they sign the contract stating that they're held liable, for anything that they break, that they held anything that's negligent, they're held liable for it. And you're allowed to take money out their check for things that is negligent. Because make no mistake about it, once they sign that and they see it, they're going. That says negligence is not going to happen, but they're going to be more cautious. They're going to be more cautious. Like back in the days when we used to just operate push mowers. For some of you, you may know we used to use the lawn boys 2-cycle. Yeah, that was a while ago. We used to operate the lawn boy 2-cycle. I used to love them green and orange lawn boys. You know what I mean? So it was 2-cycle. It was push mower. We didn't have to worry about checking the oil. We didn't have to worry about none of that. We just mixed the gas, and all the mixed cans were for everything. You know what I mean? We didn't have, not a stitch of regular gas in our vans or on our trailers or whatever, because everything was for everything. And back then, I didn't have, walk behind mowers or riders. You know what I mean? All I had was push mowers. So at that time, those lawn boys were going for like $475, $500 a watt. You know what I mean? But say for instance, if we already had five or six lawn boys. We already had 5 or 6 lawn boys, but we wanted to get some more, just so we'll have some backups. You know what I mean? So if something had to go in the shop, we can easily put that in the shop, and we'll have some, push mowers to roll with. You know what I mean? So we would buy 2 more, but we would buy 2 or 3 short blocks. You understand what I'm saying? We would buy 2 or 3 short blocks, just in case if one of those old mowers, because we would come out cheaper buying short blocks and having them installed than getting a whole new mower or something like that. So we would buy maybe like 3 short blocks, you know what I mean, engines, and store them. You know what I mean? We would store them, that way if something happened, we wouldn't have to, you know what I mean, wait for something. If they didn't have them, wait for them to come in or this and that or whatever. Hey, somebody went and the rod blew out in this lawn boy. Hey, this is what we got. You know what I mean? So, all right, we got it. How long can we get it back? Oh, give us a week. We'll have it back to you in a week. Cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about keeping it, keeping it efficient. You know what I mean? And having enough and this and that. And they know off the break. Hey, all right, we got the short block. This is how much the short block costs. They're going to charge this to install it. So this is what your fee is. This is what your fee is. Okay. Now, if this is more that we didn't had over 3 years, okay, we will do half and half. 3 or 4 years, we'll do half and half. All right, you pay half, the company will pay half because it's pretty old. You know what I mean? It's if it's 4 years old, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and do half and half. You know what I mean, for the lawn boy and this and that or whatever. So I will be a little lenient sometimes, but sometimes I will be like, hey, you got to do it. You know what I mean? But if it's a lawnmower or it's, maybe a hedge trimmer or something like that, and the short block goes, you know what I mean? And it's maybe like a 4 or 5 year old, piece of equipment. Yeah, the company will do half and the employee do half. Yes, that's just what it would do. The company will do half, the employee will do half, and this and that. Type ramps in the comment. Come on. We want to raise and maximize profits now. We're raising and maximizing profits. We ain't doing no dams. Nah, we getting dams out of here. You know what I mean? We're gonna be patient. We're gonna be patient with ours. You know what I mean? And get the right ones to come when they're supposed to come. I got time. You know what I mean? But just make sure you gotta hold your employees accountable for their negligence. You have to. If you don't, they will just literally destroy all your equipment. They will literally not care about your equipment. You can have racks for days in your, on your trailers, inside your enclosed trailers, inside your vans, on your pickups. You can have all the racks you want. And if they're not putting them on them racks, and they just don't, and I've seen it. And let's be clear, I am a victim of it. Sometimes, you'd be like, hey, well, we're just going around the corner. Let me just blow it right here, inside the van, whatever. And then at that instant, something maneuvers and it bangs into the blower and you're buying a new hose. So the next time I look and be like, hey, all right, y'all see what just happened? Yeah, all right, I'm owning up to it. I got to pay for it because I should have put it on the rack. You know what I mean? So when they're not putting them on the racks, when they're not doing this and doing that, and they just throwing stuff, down, they just leaving stuff in the yard for it to get stolen. Yes, literally. You know what I mean? I've seen where, I went and a buddy of mine was taking care of a drainage from one of my customers. I subbed it out to him. He was, taking care of drainage issue for one of my customers. So I went over and I saw his employee went, grabbed the blower, was blowing down and this and that or whatever, came back, left the blower in the middle of the front yard and went around back with them. And wasn't nobody attending. All the truck doors was open. The trailer was the back of the enclosed trailer was still down, and it was a busy street. So I went to the side of the house and I told him, I said, hey, you know what I'm saying? Come here for a second. He came there, so whatever. My man, my partner Jim, and he came over and I was like, look, man, this, your employee, you got somebody gonna run up in your stuff. And he instantly, pissed a fit and this and that or whatever, and the employee wound up, going to close everything up and this and that or whatever. Or it could have been a thing where the employee was trying to jam him up. You never know. You never know what could have been the case. You know what I mean? But you got to stay on top of your things. Okay? Let's stay out of the damp realm. Okay? You do not want to decrease and minimize your profits. Okay? Because you will never be able to get the things that you need, the things that you want. Your employees don't care if you're eating noodles at night. They don't care if you got to eat peanut butter and jelly. They don't care if, you miss a payment on your mortgage. They don't care if you miss a payment on that lawnmower. As long as they get their money and they get to go where they got to go, that's it. That's it. And that's one of the number one rules in business. We have to know that they're not really there for us. They're there to get a check. I mean, that's just what it is. They may do certain things for us, but at the end of the day, they want their money and they want their check. Okay? So that's just what it is. All right. So let's go one more last time. Let's type in ramps. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. We want ramps. We want ramps. We're doing ramps all day. We're raising and maximizing profits. All right. Okay. So do your daily checks. Do your daily checks, whether it's on Fridays, Mondays, Saturday, Sunday, whatever day works best for you. All right. Whatever day works best for you, do your checks because they will stuff those broken tools up in the shed on you quick. And not know who did it. You know what I'm saying? So you want to stay on top of all this stuff. If you can stay on top of it, at the in each day, sometimes I, like tell the foreman, hey, this is what it is. Hey, if something breaks or, we need to get something from the lawnmower shop or something like that, write it on the write it on the schedule. That way, when I look at the schedule, I'll see, and then we can go ahead, put it in the shop, or go ahead and get what we need so we can keep it moving. You know what I mean? So the next morning, say for instance, they say, the weed whacker broke and this and that or whatever. The next morning, they'll come out, show me the weed whacker, and I'll be like, go ahead, crank it up. They be like, well, we can't crank it up because the handle broke. Why is the handle broke? Handle shouldn't even be broke on this. Why is the handle broke? You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, who was using it? Oh, I was you. All right, that's on you. I'm gonna go get a new handle. Okay, no reason why the handle should have snapped in half. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, it's not gonna be a grip, but you know what I mean? There's no reason why this handle should have snapped in half on this weed whacker. You know what I mean? On these steel and echo weed whackers. You know what I mean? So they got to be held liable for that. All right. So I hope this was useful for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to hit the notification bell of all what Next Generation got in store for you. Okay? Until the next time, before we go, hit ramps. Dial ramps. Text ramps. Raise and maximize profits. That's what we want. Raise and maximize profits. Okay? So I hope this was useful for you. Okay? Don't panic. Be patient. Don't panic. Just be patient. Everything will come when it's supposed to, but you cannot dish out unnecessary money. Okay? You cannot dish unnecessary money out. You have to hold your employees accountable for what they do. And that's what it is. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to hold them accountable. All right? So once again, this is Raglan Jr. coming from Next Generation Landscaping. Keep persevering by any means necessary. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give it that big thumbs up. And don't forget to leave a comment. All feedback is good feedback, in my opinion. Help out the channel a little bit. And until the next time, which is next Wednesday, see you.